Evenepoel has headed clear of this group. Well, Pogaçer now trying to put a bit of intensity into the effort to stay clear, or maybe put a bit of pressure on Isaac Del Toro in the battle for third place. As Richard Carapaz has launched a bid for glory. Inside 3 to go. The gradient eases slightly. Could that be to the benefit of the breakaway riders?
I don't think they got a lot left. I think it's, what you have left is just putting everything into it. They went from 3 to being just individual. Sepp Kuss has passed. And he started to up the pace a little bit more. For about 500-600 metres there, he just settled into his rhythm, got his breath back a little bit, and now he's going to go for this one.
Carapaz looks a picture of, for many, the greatest of all time, has just caught him past him. Martinez will resist, but surely it's just a matter of pedal strokes before he is distanced. Sepp Kuss immediately accepting his fate. And Richard Carapaz, what, 7 seconds? Is it even as much as that? At this rate of progress, that's all it is. And well, Martinez manages to, I mean, he's great at following, isn't he? Lenny Martinez is, you've got to admire his ability, his grit to dig in.
Yeah, he's one of the only riders that's been able to do that. I'm just looking at the Evenepoel situation. He's eked out 14 seconds, 12 seconds in front of Sexas. So, looking good in this climb, but unfortunately, Carapaz, well, he came up against Pogaçer a couple of times earlier on in the tour, scuppered the chance of winning the stage, but he did get his stage yesterday with the Pogaçer over 4 minutes down, but this is a different beast altogether. Pogaçer is coming, and Carapaz knows that, but he's a fighter. He'll fight to the end. He'll be hoping that he can get as close as he can to the finishing line. It does ease a little bit. We're kind of 500 metres to go. It goes slightly downhill, but Martinez, as you said, Declan, the one and only rider that can hang on to Pogaçer for a little bit here.
I think that's remarkable, and I think that's chapeau to Lenny Martinez, who refuses to resist. It seems inevitable. Tadej Pogačar's just going to do what he does. He's not going to change the tempo or the rhythm. Maybe, just maybe, Danny, Pogačar's running out of gas ever so slightly.
Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, you never know. You never know. Lenny Martinez doing a brilliant job, but Remco Evenepoel definitely on a good day. Perhaps this was why we had that assistance from Red Bull with the team of UAE earlier in the day, and he's just going to extend his lead over Del Toro. He started the day 2 minutes and 19 seconds ahead of Isaac Del Toro, so looking good for Remco.
Looking good for Remco, and Isaac Del Toro has decided to take his leave of the Pogaçer group, so a little bit more daylight appearing between those riders contesting for third and the white jersey. Meanwhile, Lenny Martinez still there. This slight easing of the gradient has changed the outlook maybe of this stage. Richard Carapaz, was it a folly attacking Martinez when he did? Should he have tried to save just a little bit of energy, a few joules of energy, and stay with Remco Evenepoel? Well, up and across this section here, there's a little bit of a hump as we work our way past these buildings, and then the gradient eases ever so slightly. And they'll know this climb, Brian, and they'll know that they need to stay attached just at this moment.
Yeah, I think the only chance now for Carapaz and Martinez is if they can try and...
We're through the series of bends that will take us through the cat and mouse conclusion, and this was not in the script that Tadej Pogačar would have anyone with him. He's caught everyone in the stage, but he's got a couple of limpets, a couple of flies in the ointment, you might say, and they're sticking like glue to the yellow jersey. And what an ambush this would be. What an extraordinary turn of events, and this would not really be as expected. This would be a huge shock if anyone was to prevent Tadej Pogačar, having caught everyone from the early break, if either of those two riders was to actually go on to claim the stage. Who's got the best sprint? We know that Tadej Pogačar actually has a pretty good sprint at the top of the hill. Just how much energy has he got left?
He's going to try again, isn't it? We go round this corner again, and it kicks up a little bit more. I think he'll try and accelerate. He knows that Carapaz has got a kick. He's not going to leave anything by chance, and I think you will see him kick again soon.
At the end of today, he will have almost 7 minutes advantage over Remco Evenepoel, the way things are going in general classification. His situation rubber stamped, enhanced, but he wants so much more. Under the kite, 1,000 metres remaining, and now he needs to revise his thinking. And how often does he have to plan for the possibility that someone's trying to prevent him? The attack comes from the front, and Richard Carapaz almost anticipated it, but he's labouring. He's labouring on a big gear, and it's stomping on the pedal with a huge burst of acceleration, that high cadence effort, and he's still got the strength, and he's put a bit of daylight between them. Lenny Martinez can distanced, and Tadej Pogacar will go solo to the line, but he knows he's got to ride clear here all the way to the finish to claim another famous victory in Tour de Prospect. 500 metres, the flying Slovenian. What an epic. We'll wait to get a report on exactly what the time has been, but this is now a victory tour of the final couple of bends. He can savour the moment. He's winning in yellow, and Tadej Pogacar is the dominant force, reinforcing his advantage, his dominance of road racing. And now he starts to enjoy the moment, and you can sense that Tadej Pogacar has ticked an important box in it. He dips his head and starts to consider the moment of celebration. It's glory for Tadej Pogacar. Behind, Lenny Martinez is going to keep him honest all the way to the line and get second place, but it's victory for Pogacar.
Arms out to the side as if that was easy. Well, it was easy. Easy for Pogacar, not so easy for the rest of them. Martinez, well, he bangs the handlebars. He came close to getting France's first victory in this year's Tour. Has to settle for seconds. Carapaz third. This man, well, he's doing a good account of himself. He already won a mountain stage in the time trial. Del Toro is still in front of Sexas, but what can you say about Pogacar there? He looked at ease. He looked within himself. Second ever person after a certain Welshman to win in yellow at the top of this climb, of this famous climb of Alpe d'Huez. That was just incredible to witness.
Amazing. And I see a report that unofficial, but we're thinking something around 35:30 is the time, in which case that would be a new record on the mountain. 36:55 is what he was chasing, we believe. Again, all to be confirmed. Looks like a record time. Sepp Kuss brings it home for fourth on the day. He's given us all for Visma Lease. Back behind, Isaac Del Toro is distanced Paul Sexas. So the podium positions look locked on heading to the penultimate stage, and another bruising mounting encounter in prospect. It's been a pragmatic approach from Remco Evenepoel, who's going to cruise to not second place on the stage, but secure second place in the overall standings. He's going to gain time on Isaac Del Toro. He's going to lose further time to Tadej Pogacar, who he decided not to challenge on Alpe d'Huez. Was that the right approach?
I think that was wise. I think he was happy and content with second place, and obviously feeling good, left it to the last few kilometres, and has opened up his lead in second place. And Del Toro answering the questions we all had as to how he was feeling, opening up the gap and trying to cement his podium position too.
Solid final few kilometres indeed for Remco Evenepoel. He's limited his losses. I think, if anything, may have gained slightly on Tadej Pogacar, who may not have been in the fullness of health by the time he got to the top of the mountain. Nonetheless, record time for him. And it's lost for Remco Evenepoel. Second place overall, a few seconds gained on Isaac Del Toro, behind Skelmosa and Paul. All coming in line astern. Seconds between. Weary, but knowing they've got to do it all again tomorrow. Tejada, great day from him. He's done superb work, you have to say, for the decathlon squad.
Well, it had epic written all over it, didn't it? And it lived up to his reputation. You know, the crowd played its part. Absolute magnificent scenes, and you know, the nature of the stage was just incredible to watch all day. Leaders, everybody was racing for different competitions. It was so intriguing, but like, hands in the air again. How easy was that? You know, this guy's a dominant force, and there's nothing you can do to stop him. Thoughts, Danny?
We're running out of superlatives, aren't we, when it comes to this man? Take some words out of my mouth. Just exceptional once again. What a stage.
It's a 26th career stage victory for Tadej Pogaçer. And surely not his last. Taman Aronsman went deep, went long. Still no stage success for the Net Company Ineos squad. 2 more opportunities. Well, thanks very much to Danny Rowe. Danny will be back with us tomorrow. Great to have your company throughout the day as we savor these moments.
You're insane,
You're insane. There's confirmation of the finishing order. Victory on Alpe d'Huez for Tadej Pogaçer ahead of Lenny Martinez and Richard Carapaz. Kus Johannesson, Evenepoel, Del Toro, Schjelmoze, Sexas, Tejada. Mixture of breakaway riders and GC favourites. Well, it's the king of them all at the top of the pile at the end of the first of our brace of assaults on Alpe d'Huez. It's a huge advantage now, Brian, ahead of the second big challenge coming tomorrow. It's a much longer stage, bigger and harder, more challenging climbs.
Yeah, over 7 minutes now to Evenepoel, and Evenepoel's just right for second. Anybody know that Del Toro, well, he consolidates and actually extends his leads over Paul Sexas, but yeah, great stage. But I think we all knew from the start there's only going to be one winner.
Victory for Tadej Pogaçer on stage 19. He's got to do it all again on stage 20. Oh, what a brave resistance, you'd have to say, from Lenny Martinez as well, coming up for second on the day. It's the best result for France. Well, brave effort too from Richard Carapaz, going for 2 in a row. Came up with a couple of top 3 finishes. And as they come in various states of disrepair. Oh, that's how exhausting this one was. It was pretty exhausting, but less exhausting for Tadej Pogaçer. We've caught up with Jonathan Waters of EF Education Easy Post.